Islam is the second largest and fastest growing religion in the world at the current moment. Now, not surprisingly, there are nations that identify as Muslim nations. So which of them are the most powerful nations when it comes to military power? So let's take a look. How's it going, everyone? My name is Leroy Kenton and welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. Now, for this episode, in determining the power of each country, I looked just at their military strength. And I ranked them from 10 all the way down to number 1. So make sure you watch till the end so you don't miss any of these nations. Now, coming in at number 10 is Morocco. The Moroccan army is very powerful, has a lot of personnel, but it's challenged by one of the lowest defense budgets in the Middle East. The country's military is heavily engaged with the disputed Western Sahara territory and patrolling its long borders. And in recent years, it actually even supported the Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen. They have a total military personnel of 346,000 and their military budget is $3.4 billion. So yeah. At number 9, we have Syria. So after more than 6 years of gruesome fighting, Syria's military is a shadow of what it actually used to be. Its military is bolstered by Iranian militias, Russian forces, and local private militias to keep the Assad regime after suffering from very heavy losses. As well as, war fatigue kicked in. And we can see that in their numbers. So their total military personnel sits at 142,000 and their budget is at $1.87 billion. Malaysia comes in next. While Malaysia has never fought in a conventional conflict before, it does boast a modern military with a balanced strategic posture between naval strength, technological modernization, as well as air superiority. Malaysia is in dispute with China's claims over the South China Sea and an active member of the US peacekeeping forces. While struggling with financial limitations and current instability, its military continues to grow and modernize. It faces a challenge of matching assets that are incompatible with the domestic and international threats they face. But their military personnel sit at a total of 410,000 and they have a defense budget of $4.7 billion. The next nation to look at is Algeria. Algeria is the largest Arab country by size and has invested steadily in its military since it achieved independence. The Algerian People's National Army has been on active footing since its founding, first fighting for independence, a civil war dubbed the Black Decade, followed by more than 2 decades protecting its major borders. It is also the only country aside from China that obtained the Russian S-400 missile system, and it's one of the best air defense systems currently made. Algeria has troublesome borders with neighbors including Libya and Mali, and actively supports the Polisario Front, which seeks the independence of the disputed territory of Western Sahara from the country of Morocco. Their total military personnel sits at 280,000 and their defense budget is $10.6 billion. We're looking at Saudi Arabia next. In the past years, it has fought an intense war with Yemen. And while Yemen has been a proving ground for its military, the drawn-out war has drawn significant international condemnation over the heavy human toll it has taken and the humanitarian concerns over famine and disease in the war-ravaged country. Their military personnel total at 230,000 and they have a whopping defense budget of $70 billion. Halfway in, we have Indonesia. With Indonesia set to become the world's 4th largest economy by the year 2050, its military continues to grow in leaps and bounds. So check it out. Aside from its active duty personnel, it's home to an additional 281,000 paramilitary personnel. Its manpower, economy, and political clout are enough to ensure internal stability and growth as it pursues an aggressive military diversification strategy. Indonesia's modernized capabilities may be the precursor to larger regional ambitions in the future, so we just gotta wait and see. Their total military personnel is a whopping 800,000 and they have a defense budget of $6.9 billion. The nation of Pakistan comes in at number 4. Now, the Pakistani military is very robust with a long-standing military tradition. In recent years, it has leveraged stronger engagement with Saudi Arabia and China to modernize its forces with heavy military technology exchange and weapons development. Operationally, Pakistan boasts one of the largest armies in the region with a strong combined arms doctrine supported by a powerful intelligence service and a consistent drive to develop defense industry capabilities. It's also one of the few countries in the region to have nuclear capabilities. Their total military personnel sit at 1,204,000 and they have a defense budget of $7 billion. The next nation is Iran, and it has also managed to effectively manage large militias while aligning them with its overall overall military posture through tried and tested embedded officers and leadership. Over years of sanctions, Iran developed a significant national defense industry and made major progress towards becoming a nuclear state. Its armed forces are also viewed as particularly strong in asymmetric warfare. Iran has provided extensive technical and military support to the Assad regime in Syria as well as over in Yemen. Their total military personnel is 873,000 and they have a defense budget of $6.3 billion. Egypt is up next. So with the rise of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the Egyptian military has been given free rein to expand and embed itself in nearly every aspect of Egyptian society. On top of a large defense budget, tax exemptions, and lucrative private contracts. The Egyptian military has made major progress in modernizing its military since Sisi took power, with gradual procurements of new state-of-the-art weaponry, revamped supply chains, and more attention given to its navy. They have total military personnel of 920,000 people, and their defense budget is $4.4 billion. Now, the number one spot, we have the country of Turkey. Now, Turkey's armed force has been on an active footing for a number of years. On top of its heavy presence in Syria, Turkey has developed a strong defense industry, manufacturing autonomous armed drones, state-of-the-art cruise missiles, and a cutting-edge indigenous battle tank, as well as battle-tested attack helicopters. Turkey's just got it all. While it ranks as the strongest military force in the Muslim world as well as in the Middle East, it's also ranked the 9th worldwide by global firepower. They have a total military personnel of 735,000 and their total defense budget is $8.6 billion. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you in this episode. Let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. Pretty simple, pretty factual. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of FTD Facts. But before you guys go, here's another related video. Definitely you want to check this out if you enjoyed this video or videos like this. My social media links are also below in the video description section, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join the FTD Facts family, and that way you won't miss any of our daily episodes. Alright guys, it's been awesome hanging out with you. I'll see you next time in another episode.